What is it that they want from me? It's always tutorials this, tutorials that. It's like I'm just the anime tutorials guy. What is this feeling?
How about I make a tutorial of me putting my monkey nuts in your mouth?
Hi, my name is Snoofy and I make anime music and anime music tutorials sometimes, and today's video is one of those again. I did a tutorial a long time ago about Yoasobi, which, oh my god, I absolutely freaking hate, and this time I'm doing another one, but it's a little bit different. Today I'll be talking about how to make electronic Yoasobi J-Pop beats. This is pretty different from traditional J-Pop, which is all usually centered around guitars. We're gonna go instead to the electronic side of J-Pop. You know. Ruby-chan! Hi! Nani ga suki? Chocominto yorimo anata! Type shit. Yoasobi's J-pop music is all different forms of J-pop, electronic included of course. For this video, I'll be showcasing and breaking down a beat I made and uploaded, and it was inspired by Undead by Yoasobi. And it's a really good song, but what the fuck does it have to change genre for? Freaking time! So as always, everything I show will be simple and easy to follow along, and this video will be broken down into these sections to show you the breakdown bit by bit. Alright, no more yapping, let's get right to it. This part is pretty important. Since we're making something electronic, we're gonna need to learn some shapes really quickly. Now, not to flex, but see, back when I was a wee lad, I learned my shapes. That's right. I learned all about squares, I learned all about triangles, and then I moved on to high school and I learned about sine waves. Oh! We're gonna be using some basic wave shapes as the fundamentals of this beat, so get yourself a Serum or Vital or whatever other plugins there are that have these shapes, and here are the sounds I use in this beat. No, we got all the beep beep things, fam. Let's create some tunes, yeah. In the Toronto accent. I'm sorry. Next. We're gonna be using the same chords throughout the beat, with this being the chord progression. First off, let's start off with our saws. Now let me show you a cool voicing trick I like to use on saws or any sound I want to make wide and thick. First, make a basic chord. Then add a 7th and 9th note to it. Now duplicate the root note an octave down. Duplicate the 7th note an octave up, and move the 3rd note an octave up. Beautiful. Now you have a more completed and interesting sound compared to a regular boring chord. And you're gonna have all the baddies swooning around you.
Say it again, Dexter.
So using this trick, I made the chord progression with the saws, and here's how it sounds. But just playing the chords alone is kinda boring. So let's give it some rhythm by chopping it up a bit. Saws are a pretty harsh sound, so here's the processing I did on it. Love filter, I'll show you what this does later. Sound goodizer to goodize the sound, OTT for some compression, EQ to skew some frequencies, and a multi-band compressor for a bit more controlled compression. Next up, I have this electric guitar playing power chords, so we can add that J-rock touch to it. And yeah, that's about it for chords. Just some classic J-pop progressions, especially with the chromatic run at the end, and that's all you really need. Let's move on to melodics. Here in this part, we're going to talk about the melodics, which are the sounds that help guide a track and give it direction. Think of it as the good stuff, the narcotics, the opium. Don't do drugs, kids. Do melodics instead. First, I've got this square arp, which I pan left and right, so it's in the background to fill up some space. Next, I got this sine wave, which plays this cute little up and down melody as a little ear candy. And now the main melodic element, the lead. I'm using another square for this one, and definitely play around with the note durations and timing so you can give it that bounce. And lastly, I have this electric guitar lead playing the same as the square lead just to add a bit more to the J-Rock touch. And with that, we've got our melodic elements down. We're halfway through this video now, so bear with me and let's talk bass. Okay, so you know how like bass is like low frequency and shit? Yeah, we're gonna do that, but we're gonna do that but with a saw and a sine wave layered on top of each other, and all we gotta do is follow the root notes of the chords. But just following the root notes is kinda... That's all for the bass, which ironically enough is just another saw and sine wave but in lower octaves. See, I told you we needed to learn our shapes. Let's move on to drums. Drums are pretty simple. Just like most J-pop music, it's a 4 on the floor drum pattern with some basic drum sounds. So you take those sounds, lay down the 4 on the floor, add the filler stuff in between, and you're all good to go. And that's it. Drums are done, everything's done, this video is done. Bye guys, I'll see you in the next video. I'm kidding. But before we move on to arrangement, let me show you the Discord server. Here we make music, art, we do a bunch of fun, silly stuff together. Yo, what the fuck did I just come back to? Oh my god.
Do you support Trump?
I support Xi Jinping.
I'm active all the time in here, hanging out with you guys, helping you out with music, and you guys in return love to bully me and make me want to rip my hair out my head. It's a fun place to be. Definitely come and join in if you'd like. Alright. Arrangement. We've got all our elements, and now we just need to put them together. So I'm gonna follow the same J-pop structure I always do, which is gonna be this right here on the screen. Starting off with the intro here, I play a quick bit of the chorus to start off the track and also do a low pass filter, just cuz. Then over here in the intro, I got the kicks playing, the basses playing the full notes, the saws playing the full chords, and now I can explain what that fruity love filter from earlier was. So basically, this is a wobble sidechain-like effect that gives it that future bass sound. Moving on to the verse, I add the arp square and I add some drums to build on some energy. Next is the pre-chorus, which for this track is also a build-up, but don't worry, we don't have to go full Skrillex for this. I introduced the power chords and the sine wave with some kicks and claps building up, and I also added this color bass loop because I love color bass. :3 ooh rar xt. Why is this in the script? And then we get to the chorus where we just put everything in. The lead, the drums, everything. Now we're at the bridge where I duck the energy to a low and have just the saws playing with the low filter on. In this second verse, I introduce some drums, but I don't want to be repetitive, so I have it playing a hip-hop pattern instead. Back to the build-up again. And chorus again, but this time I added the guitar lead as well. And lastly at the end, I ended off with a resolving chord and note with these elements because, I don't know, it sounds nice. And just like that, our track is now done. Hooray! What? So then, here it is, the full beat. Enjoy! You thought I was gonna let you listen to the full beat? Well, you can do that right here. Link in the description or at the top of the video here somewhere and in the outro. Now have a wonderful day, dear viewer, and I'll see you again soon.